Hi everybody, it's Amy at Crafty Cat, and I am back for the hashtag 50 stack challenge number 6. This challenge is a 25-week prompt assignment challenge. So each week I draw 2 prompts out of my bag. All the prompts are already in the bag. And then the idea is to make 1 piece of ephemera for each of the prompts. That way at the end of the 25 weeks, you will have a stack of 50 pieces of ephemera. Unless you use them up before then, obviously, which I have used a lot of mine this time around. But a lot of other times I've just kept putting them in a box. And so I have a couple boxes just full of ephemera from multiple challenges. The Somerset Studio magazine and 50 Stack Challenge. And for a while I was doing the Nuttin' But Neutrals challenge with Tammy at Lou Frou Studios. So yeah, sorry, I've got a frog in my throat today for some reason. All right, so... for example, last week I drew out number 15 was beach. So I made this piece of ephemera for a journal, you know, to put on a page. And just so you can kind of get an idea of how you might use it, you could just put it right in the middle and there's a pocket right there behind this photograph. And you could also make the back into another pocket. So that would be a nice little, you know, interesting spot in your journal. You can also, if you're more interested in doing collages, things like that, Nancy Pitter is doing color collages using the prompts. So she adds whatever the prompt is to her collage, which is also fantastic, and I love it. So whatever you like to do, you can incorporate the prompt. Number 16 was mask. So I have this mask, and this was a freebie, and so were the beach pictures. And they're in the description box of the video, and all you have to do is click on them. And they should come up on your computer. Of course, everybody's computer is different, and sometimes I have people that say they couldn't get it, but it's just going to depend on your computer. If you have things like ad blockers and things like that on your computer, that might be stopping it. So yeah, I don't really know all the answers there. I have Apple products, and that's what I use. I know that some other people have been able to download this freebie. So yeah, just so you know, it's there. If you want to try to, you just click on the link and it takes you right to the freebie. So we have number 17 today. Number 17 is paint. So you can use watercolor, you can use acrylic, you can use whatever, paint pens, whatever you want. It's totally up to you to interpret these how you want. It's really just meant to be fun, you know, just kind of give you a jumping off point for a piece of ephemera. That was 2, sorry, so I did put it back. I want to get just one, and I keep grabbing multiples. Okay, tissue paper is 18. Tissue paper is number 18. So any printed tissue paper, plain colored tissue paper. I like to use sewing tissue, and you can use that. That's fine. It doesn't have to be like store-bought kind of tissue paper. Well, I mean, they're all store-bought, but you know what I'm saying. You don't have to go buy a whole package. Just use a little piece of whatever kind of tissue paper you have around. All right, I'm going to go get some things together, and I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. So for paint, I think what I want to do is something like these, but on a whole sheet of paper. I'm not going to add the stickers. I just mean like brush strokes, and we'll do some splatters and things like that for a background page for whatever, like collaging or whatever you want to use it for. This is some cheap kids watercolor paper. I like using this, especially for junk journals, because it's not as thick as, you know, the nicer quality of watercolor paper. It's also smooth. It doesn't have the texture to it. So, yeah, that's just, but it's thick enough that it doesn't get just rolling up and all that kind of stuff like a regular kind of a paper would do. So I have brushes that like, these are real dry because I kind of want that strokey look to it. That's very strokey. And it's just going to be, this is a playing round because I haven't done this before on a whole sheet of paper. So we're just going to see what we get. And then we can maybe use it in that journal I'm working on, the paper bag journal. So I thought that would be kind of a fun a fun thing to do. So how is everybody? I hope you guys are doing well. I didn't say that when we started out. I'm doing good. Just had dentist appointment. Bummer. Do not relish those. But I just had my teeth cleaned. It wasn't any big deal or anything. But I need to say hugs and blessings to Janelle, Tracy, Seahorse Ranch Girl, and Pat. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for your kind comments. I really appreciate all of you so much. And welcome to new subscribers, and welcome back to those of you that have been with me for a long time or a short time. And I know I'm making a mess, but it's okay, because, you know, that's kind of part of the playing. And if it goes in the trash, it goes in the trash, and that's fine. Because if we're using it in collage, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's just kind of a snippet of something of interest for the eye to look at. And I am keeping my brushes pretty darn dry, so that is going to have an effect, because if you dunk them too much, you know, you're not going to get the streaky look. It's going to get more muddled, you know, when the colors come together and all that. So definitely think about that when you're doing this. Oh, I know something I wanted to do while it's still wet. Let me put a little more of the white. I'm going to add some of this mica powder that's copper, because I thought that might give it kind of some rusty looks and spots. And mica powder needs something, because mine's just mica powder. There's no sticky quality to it or anything. So it has to have something to stick to, or it won't. It'll just fall off the paper when the paper's dry. So you just got to keep it moving like that. And that will help make it stick. And there's going to be spots it's going to fall off of, and that's okay, because it's just a super duper fine powder. And I got mine Arteza. I don't know if you noticed, it was on the label, but I think there's a few companies that do that now. So we're going paint and mica powder here. But that's okay. All works. And I'm sure there's better ways to use this mica powder, and if you know them, then feel free. I just always wing-a-ding it. Give it a little shininess and spots. And that'll be good. I do like how you get the streaks from the paint under there. That looks kind of cool. You could also add it into your paint. That's another thing that you can do, like mix it in with the paint. But I kind of like this haphazard look. Okay, get the rest of that off my hand. That is the only thing about it. It's so fine that you really can't like get it back in the jar or anything. Okay, so just a little bit there. And then I'm going to put some Distress Oxide on in spots. So yeah, really just a hodgepodge of whatever strikes my fancy. And this one's Vintage Photo. Use any you've got, doesn't matter. If you wanted to do, you know, purples and greens or whatever, obviously that works too. I'm going to try to make some of these kind of drip. Oops, slinging it all over the place. This will work good. We're doing this one first because then we'll be able to let it dry mostly and see what it looks like when it's done. Okay, then I'm going to take some black paint. This little one will work. Oh, I wonder if I should try this. I'm definitely going to have to wash my hands after this. This was a new toothbrush, by the way. I always like to tell people that. I always forget to use a toothbrush, but it does make those super fine splatters a lot easier. But yes, you do have to get the paint all over your fingers. But it's part of the process, right? Just trying not to get it all over my pink shirt, which, you know, that would be what I normally would do. So that would be nothing new. And then for some bigger, I like those lines too, whenever I can get those. They don't always do it though. And I'm just adding water, if you're wondering. I'm going to have little black splatters on everything. You have to strike it pretty good to get those lines, and it needs to be pretty wet, the paint. And it doesn't always work, even when you try to get it to. Oh, dang, I'm getting it on my shirt. Alright, I think I'm good with that now that I'm black. Fingers. Black fingers. So don't make this paint thing hard. Like when you see paint, don't go, oh, I don't, you know. You can even just do some paint splatters on a different piece. Like you could make a piece like this, do some paint splatters on it and call it a day. So don't make it difficult on yourself. Okay. We are going to let that dry. I'm going to pause for a minute so I can go wash my hands. So I don't have to do the rest of the video with that. And I'll be right back. I'm back. Now we're going to make a whole new kind of mess. I've been dying to use this anyway. My husband made this for me. He 3D printed it, and it holds a piece of purple sandpaper. It was just the grit, and it happened to be purple. I was like, that's pretty cool. But anyways, and if you ask, he can't sell these because it's not his file. Like, you could print for your own use, but you can't sell them. So sorry about that, but it's going to be handy dandy for me. So anyways, I've been wanting to do some altered playing cards. We actually got these cards at Tombstone. They're kind of cool. They have like an old vintage motorcycle on the back, but I always like to sand them a little bit before I try to glue stuff to them, just because they have that slickery coating on them, that plastic coating. So I don't know why this wants to roll up today, but it does. And then we're going to do the back a little too. I'm going to stick some tissue on the back. So the prompt again was tissue paper. So I'm going to use sewing tissue paper, but of course you can use some kind of printed tissue paper or whatever you want to use. So I'm going to set that aside. Now I have dust. I had paint, now I have dust. I'm going to wipe this off a little bit just so the dust just gives whatever you put on there a little tooth to hang on to when you sand it like that, which is helpful. And it ages them up a little more. And I'm going to take some of this old paper and just put it here and there wherever I feel like it. Let's see if I can find my, what did I do with my glue stick? Well, I thought it was right here. Don't know, because it's not. It ran away. It ran away from home. And I just tear whatever and I stick it on there. Or, you know, you can put whole pieces down and tear them off after, however you want to do it. It just looks kind of cool when you have the random text on there. Husband's going to another retirement get-together at his work. He knows lots of people that are retiring. Oh, actually, I don't know what he's doing. Never mind. Thought he was leaving. He's banging on something. How much of that you're going to see, actually. I just thought of that. So maybe I'll put it over here a little ways. Some of this is going to obviously get covered, as it does whenever we do these things. But I'm still going to put it here and there just so that you can see it. And I don't know why. Somebody's going to ask, why did you put glue on the back of the paper once and on the card another time? There's no reason. It's just my brain. It's because my brain was crazy and nonsensical. I usually figure out the most difficult way to do things, so let's put this one up here. And you don't have to put this stuff on if you don't want to. It just looks kind of cool, I think. I'm not going to do much to the back because I'm going to do something else on there, so there's no reason to put more of that on there. And then I have this old, awesome colored tissue paper. Yeah, I was thinking of doing these you know, next week or whenever anyway, these altered cards, because they're just fun. And I haven't done them in a while. And then I got tissue. It was like, well, that's what I'm doing. Some goodies to put on there. Move that out of the way. I just put glue right over the whole front of the card. And you really want to get your corners good because they will lift, you know. One of you, I can't remember, was it Fern or who, but said my glue book over here would be a great page to use in a journal, and I didn't even think about it. You know, I just get gluing and not, but it's cool. It's got little colored dots. You know, sometimes you're just not thinking about that and you're just using your stuff, doing whatever. But yes, you are right about that. And I would still use it if I wouldn't have got glue on it, but I did get glue on it, so. Because I don't mind I colored it with one of those paint pens. That would have been fine too, but the glue won't be great. We'll have to see if there's more of those type of pages in there. Probably not. I'm just trying to use up some of the old junk that gets floating around, old catalogs. That one was for that chalk tour. It's an old catalog, and I'm not doing that anymore. Oh, come on, stop doing that. So, you can also wait till this dries, which obviously would cut better, and you can also file it if you wait till it dries. But that's hard to do when you're doing videos. Is this piece big enough? Yep, barely. I did the other one backwards, but it doesn't matter. That makes them look a little bit older when you do it that way. So if you have some old playing cards, they make fun little things to tuck in pockets. Just clean those scissors off too that I was just using from glue. I'll ink it. Already got a piece of string stuck on that glue stick and I just opened it. Okay, voila, now it looks like an old playing card rather than a new one. We're going to use this little piece of paper, and this was from something I got on Amazon that had all kinds of little lightweight pieces of paper and things. Vintage style. It's supposed to be, they call it scrapbook paper, but a lot of the pieces I would not consider big enough for a scrapbook, but it depends on, I guess, the type of scrapbook you're doing. But they're fun to add to collage or things like this, whatever. So they definitely are useful. They're just not what I would consider scrapbook size paper. I'm just going to put that down there and trim it. You could put this under too, but it's kind of my decorative bit on top, so. And I think I'm gonna take this and go around the corner. My daughter got me these. It was just a packet of these ticket stickers. I don't know where she got them. They were a Christmas present. She finds me all kinds of nifty little goodies. I guess I don't need it totally straight, do I? Just gives a little color back there and on the front. And then one of my gentlemen from my grungy digital. You can see he looks all rusty and grungy. I think I'll use this in the journal I'm working in right now. The vintage, grungy, vintage style. I have these too that are just, I don't know where from, but anyway. I don't think I'll use that one. There he goes. Okay. Now for this side, I want to put this rusty looking pocket. I'm pretty sure that's in that same kit. I might just put it on and then cut around it. Sorry, I can't decide what I'm doing here. I don't know where my smaller one is. Story of my life, honestly. In this room, anyway. That's not, oh my goodness. Well, some of it's going to get cut off. I'll try to just put it on the thing straight. I don't know why I did that around the edges either. It's not going to matter. I printed this on cardstock, so it will, I wanted to see where to start this. This is how it all started. So we'll try to get this centered here. Cut off more from one side than the other. To have our little pocket. Ooh, no. No, no. I pushed way too hard. You just stay there. Behave yourself. Come on now. It's button up against that sticker and doesn't want to cut. Yeah, I wish we could sell those. Those would be a good thing to put in the shop, but it's not our file. We don't want copyright problems. Those are pretty handy. Handy dandy. Okay, and then I have this lady and gentleman. I'm wondering if I'm going to have to cut it down. Nah, it's going to have to get cut some more. I did trim it a bit, but I wasn't sure. I'm going to grab my trimmer. I just won't do it straight ever. I probably should back it and then it would work. I'll back it with this coffee dye. Sorry, I just smacked my face on the camera. Rusty dusty goodness today. He's also taken my package to the post office, which is nice. It's great having him home because he can help me out. It does take a little getting used to, but okay, and let's do it rounded or let's do rounded. Can't really fit much else on that, so that's just gonna go in there. But it's a little writing spot, you see. You can pull out and write a little journaling note and call it good. I wonder if one of these would work. It's all like, you know, about smiling and all that. Yeah, none of those are going to work. I'm just thinking a little something on here might be kind of cool. Just don't know what. Sometimes the little bits at the end I just kind of forget to do, you know? I'm sure you can understand. I wonder if I just took that number. I don't love the pink. That's the only problem with that. But I mean, it wouldn't be awful. It wouldn't be awful. I don't think any of this stuff. It's mostly stamps. I think we'll just do that. It'll work. So we definitely did paint and we definitely did tissue paper. The sun is shining now. That's a good thing. It's been cloudy, windy. It's supposed to get really nice next week, like in the 70s. So I'm very excited for that. Oh, I did get to see my kids yesterday. That was awesome. Except my son's got a cold, or, you know, the gunk that's going around. So I'll probably end up with that. But he needed, like, I sent him home with cold medicine and Benadryl. Like, do you have this? Do you have that? Do you have anything? Sometimes kids on their own, you're just like, I mean, I know they got to learn and figure it out. It's just, yeah, I remember. I mean, been there, but it's funny. How do you get through every day, child? Sister's better at kind of taking care of herself, and always has been, than him. He's a funny one. But he's mega independent. Like, he doesn't want you to help him, really. And he's also always been that way. But he took medicine, said he's feeling better today, so it all worked out. So that's fun. I love doing those. So there's my tissue on my playing card. A little journaling spot. I love that motorcycle. It's pretty cool. That goes in there. So that is fun. And let's see how our paint is doing. And I don't know yet what I will do with the paint, but you know what you could do? You could cut these into tags, pockets, and then when you're ready, add stuff on top of them. So if you don't want to do collaging with it, you could definitely just cut it into tags or whatever and then add things. But it's definitely grungy. And I definitely used paint. So that's our two prompts. 17 was paint, 18 was tissue paper. So just have fun with it. Do whatever you like to do. Those are two easy ones. Again, last week was a little bit harder, but this one's easy. You can just add a touch of paint to whatever, and like this, you could have even done something like this and splattered paint on it or whatever. So just have fun with it, and I will chat with you guys again soon. Love ya. Bye.